Welcome to my channel. Today was an action day. Caruana faced Nakamura and Liren faced Yan Nepomniachtchi. They played against each other, Caruana and Nakamura, and they won one each after first two games, and they drew the next two games. So we are here at game 5. Caruana with white pieces opens with d4, knight f6 from Nakamura, c4, e6, and anti-Nimzo Indian variation. So you see from Caruana, he is trying to play a little bit safe in this position and not going with sharp lines with Nimzo Indian defense by knight c3 and bishop e4. But okay, still very safe. d5, the queen's gambit declined, and here bishop e7 from Nakamura, not going to g4, the Ragozin variation which Firuzja and Giri played against Carlsen. Good choice. This Armageddon game where black has the draw odds, you have to play a little bit safe in this position. So Nakamura has opted a safe opening in this position. I like his opening choice. Bishop f4, castles, e3, knight b7, c takes d5, very sharp. Ideal would have been a3 to stop this bishop b4, but nevertheless they are playing at the instinct. So pragmatically a good decision to create more sharp lines. White has to win, remember, this game. So Caruana has to keep striking, has to put pressure on Nakamura, because although black is down on time by a minute, but still black has the draw odds. Black wins, it's a win anyway, but if black draws, it still will be a black win. So Caruana cannot opt for a closed position. He has to strike in the center, and that's why he didn't go for positional a3. Instead he strikes in the center, cd5, and now Nakamura also punching it back. Knight takes instead of pawn takes. So both parties exchanging punches. Knight takes, pawn takes, and now bishop d3, developing the bishop. So white is ready to castle. Probably at the next turn he will castle. c5. So now Nakamura hitting back into the center. That's a very nice strategy. He needs to hit. He needs to keep pressure on Caruana to compensate for the time. Although black would try to play safe, but again, if you are a time down, if you are a minute down, then you have to keep building pressure. That's very important. Castles, and now c4, challenging the bishop. Bishop tucks back to c2, b5. So Nakamura's strategy is quite clear. Needs to push his queenside pawns. Would see a5, pawn also running down the board. This 3-2 majority against 2 pawns on the queen side for the white. It would be better for Nakamura in this position. Okay, nevertheless, b3, now challenging that out pawn on c4, a5, Caruana exchanges on c4, and rook b1. Now rook b1 is a very important move. This rook cannot challenge because this bishop is controlling this square, so it was very important to take this square out from black. Still Caruana is at attack. Like the move. Bishop b4, good move. h3, now giving his king some room. Rook a6, queen e2, and slowly but surely they both are building their positions. f3. In this position, Caruana played f3. He could have simply played bishop g5 in this position with the ideas of putting this knight onto this pin, and if whenever this queen moves away, then bishop can exchange itself and destroying the pawn structure. Not to be, not to be, not to be. f3 played, knight d7, just looking at the danger of bishop g5 in the next move probably. So Nakamura reacting, and now knight g4, rook e8, rook fd1, bishop takes, h takes, bishop d6, challenging the bishop, bishop takes d6, rook takes d6, rook b7. So now his intention is to double the rooks and just taking this b file away from black. That's a very good strategy in this position. You have to take over, but in this position white also has some weaknesses. This e pawn is a little bit loose. These two double pawns, although it creates some room for the king, but it doesn't help white in a much better way as white would have liked. But there is still this bishop looking at this pawn. That's very important. So still keeping some pressure. Caruana is still keeping some pressure, and he has to keep pressure. He has to win this position, so he's going for it. Knight f8, so protecting this pawn even more, although not an imminent threat, but still a good thing to consider. Queen f2, and here it would have been better to play queen g5. This didn't happen in the game. Nakamura played rook f6 in this position, but let's see what happens after queen g5. Well, the loose pawn needs to be taken care of. e3 was attacked by queen and rook, so rook e1 defends that, and now h5, keeping some room. So again, more pressure. The queen is also opposite to the king, so more pressure is being imposed. Bishop a4 challenges the rook, but still a little bit unclear in this position. Okay, so in this position Nakamura plays rook f6. Okay, and now Caruana doubles on b file, queen d6, g5, rook fe6, e4, and here again Nakamura could have gone for queen f4. It's an armageddon game. You have to analyze it quite well before going into something like queen takes g5. Yes, g5 pawn is loose, but still very tricky. But instead he goes for queen a3 in this position, which gives white a little chance. e5, and now rook 6 e7. Rook b5. This pawn is loose, and it seems like it would be impossible to defend this pawn. And this bishop is doing a good job of creating blockade, and it's secured by the queen, so it's a fantastic position for white. Queen c3. He could have played rook d7, defend. Instead he plays rook c3, and now Caruana takes the pawn on d5, and these two pawns, two connected pass pawns. Basically this is a pass pawn, soon this will be also a pass pawn. If this pawn goes, then they two will run with each other. Let's see. Knight e6, Bishop a4, now challenging the rook. Rook f8, f4, clear threat, g6, and now rook d6. So slowly and surely Caruana is building pressure on Nakamura. You can see that f5 is coming, and then f6 will be very dangerous. There are also chances of queen h4, queen h6, and then this mate. These patterns will also come into the game. And now knight g7 from Nakamura. It's incredible. The mistakes keep happening. Yes, Nakamura is running very short of time, 1 minute and 1.5 minutes, but still you have to win, or you have to make a draw, so you have to make some concrete moves, probably go for queen exchange or something, maybe pressure even more. But knight g7 is a bit passive. Bishop goes back, knight e8, challenging the rook, but this was too casual. Rook c6. Now this thorn in the flesh will soon disappear, we will see. Rook d7 and rook d1. Now knight c7. Bishop e4, rook fd8, and here Caruana could have simply played f5, and there probably is no defense to this, and then queen h4, queen h6, but still a pressure in this position. Maybe pawn takes and then bishop takes. White is always having the upper hand in this position. Queen f3, he goes for queen exchange, with Nakamura takes, creating more complications. This pawn has only sole defender, attacked with 2 pieces. Let's see. Bishop takes f3 and knight e6, now putting third piece onto attack. So he will play d5, knight takes f4, he grabs the pawn, but this pawn is too far away. Now knight d3, bishop g4, rook a7, and now d7 is a crunch move. He could have played e6 in this position, with removing this one also and putting more pressure around the king as well, so king would also be threatened. But nevertheless, king f8, rook takes c4, knight b4, e6, f takes e6, bishop takes e6, rook a6, attacking the bishop. And now a very good move from Caruana, rook c8, places black in a tsutswang. So king e7, bishop g4 is a very good move, just keeping an eye on this pawn. This pawn is like a thorn in a flesh, as I said, is so far away, just 1 square away from getting queened. Rook a8, rook e1 check, king f7, and now Caruana finishes it off in style. A magnificent strike on e8, and Nakamura resigns this game. What a splendid move this is. Beautiful move. And there's absolutely no defense. Nakamura will eventually lose these both rooks, and white will be a whole rook up in this position. Fantastic. I hope you liked the video. All the best. Take care. Bye.